It's the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Allen Robinson. It was a solid showing in last week's game. 105 receiving yards. It's the Commanders and the Colts. All that and more. Coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Washington Commanders and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year in 2019, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. We'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Part of why they came into this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So the Colts in great position here as they get things started. They'll be led out by a man in his 23rd NFL season. Still doing it at age 45, Tom Brady.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. To throw, it's Brady. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Julio Jones with career touchdown number 70. And the Colts take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the play?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Injuries got to McCaffrey again in 2021. He's played just 10 games since his historic 2019 season. He's been averaging well over 100 yards per game when he's out there, though. And fans of the game are hoping this is the year he gets back to a full season of work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Tannehill. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. To throw is Tannehill. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Oh, they had a good chance to get off the field defensively there. If they could just wrap up, it's going to be a 4th down. But instead, they can't get him on the deck, and he allows them to pick up the 1st down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they're in a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. Tannehill. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
On second down, Kamara. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
They were just trying to get their offense a little more room down near their own goal line, but this is just going to make things worse.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot, because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. On second and 10, Tannehill. He completes this to Cole Turner. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Here's Tannehill. He'll find Reynolds over the middle. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. To the air again, Tannehill. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders have taken the lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and the lead is now 2. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, Great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. And he's got the connection to Cole Beasley. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Here's Brady to throw. They'll go right back to Beasley. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. The Colts at 4-3, a game over 500. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Ertz has it left side. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Caught by Jones. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 32-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st down, Brady. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Down right around the 25. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Brady now to throw. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he is going to have the Colts 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. He hits Beasley right side. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Through 1 quarter, 9-7 our score. 2nd quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. To throw is Brady. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And Brady's throw there, incomplete. The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
That will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment.
It's funny, we had a conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Tannehill. Getting this into the hands of Turner. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Alex Leatherwood, the Alabama man, called for the penalty there. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Again, Tannehill. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Tannehill. Reynolds with a catch out on the right side. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ford, that got in there to bring him down.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Tannehill. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. McPherson's kick is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. They also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady, and he finds Beasley, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Brady now on 1st down. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
That throw by Brady incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady. That's Gallup on the slant. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. That time a slant. Brady in general on those quick hitters. He just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate. But most of the time, he wins before the ball's even snapped by his pre-snap read. Finds out where the defense is and delivers it to the proper place.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Colts! Rashad Bateman from 17 yards out. And the Colts have regained the lead. Those are the touchdowns that aren't just scored on Sundays or on Monday night. Those are the ones that are scored during the week because they had that preparation and a great route run.
Oh, I love that observation because you don't just roll out on game day and say, okay, go run this route and let's get it done. That means exactly what you said. The practice had to occur beforehand, which led to the timing, which led to the touchdown.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And a Washington offense heading out. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Tannehill. Man open is Robinson. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty. He was brought down by Eric Harris. on 2nd and 8. Tannehill. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though.
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Man open, here is Crowder. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Tannehill. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Tannehill. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Tannehill on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Christian McCaffrey. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead is now 2. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. We've got a little more than a minute to go, and I think the offense is saying, hey, all we need here, a field goal, and we can take the lead into intermission.
Well, I think that's what the goal should be. Give your kicker a chance to give you those 3 points. But in the meantime, if someone falls asleep on the defensive side, you might take advantage of that and get a big shot downfield, too.
And this one caught by Beasley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Brady now on 1st down. It's complete to Jones. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Again, it's Brady. There he is again, another catch for Julio Jones. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 32-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Denzel Perryman with a sack. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they have regained the lead. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute, but first let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A little juke. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on a 6-yard return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's Tannehill. Incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Tannehill. Out route here, he finds Turner. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down. Well, there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And, partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. but maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you use your body to create some space.
Tannehill on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Third down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. Now it's Tannehill. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be fourth down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And that is no good. And that'll keep this a one-point game. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
So here are the Colts to take over. They were losers a week ago to Tennessee, but they're on top right now as they come up here 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Brady. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alvin Kamara, a 22-yard scamper. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Tannehill. That's complete to Turner.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Tannehill.
And that's caught by the tight end, Granson.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Tannehill now to throw.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Off play action, Tannehill.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill.
Open man downfield is Reynolds.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. McCaffrey running up the middle. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Tannehill. That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. McCaffrey. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Tannehill. Being chased out left. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson.
From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll get the lead down to 5. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Pulled in at the 24. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Now Tannehill.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. And he wants Reynolds way downfield.
And that's caught inside the 35.
Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And from what we said, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Tannehill.
His pass into the hands of Turner.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
2nd down and 7.
Again, Tannehill. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now Tannehill. Man open, here is Crowder. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Beautiful throw right there on 3rd down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a 1st and goal at the 1.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
Again, McCaffrey, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Christian McCaffrey
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders have taken a 4th quarter lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Tannehill going to throw for it. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. So that effort gives them a three-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about, not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Brady. Looking for Ertz, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. Throw left side to Reynolds.
Touchdown, Washington.
Josh Reynolds. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders will add to their fourth-quarter lead. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a fourth-quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. He's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin at the 25.
The Colts defensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
And the script really is for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Good footwork at the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Brady.
Right side, it's Manhurts, the tight end.
And he'll be upended at the 33. 3rd down. Here's Brady to throw. And Jones has it over the middle.
He's going to have a Colts first. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like magnified big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize and conserve as much of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A 7-yard pickup. To throw is Brady. This play Jones.
And he'll be tagged mid 6-yard line.
That is his 951st NFL reception, so 49 away from 1,000, but 951. That ties him with Andre Reed.
Trigger there because Andre Reed on the ball, part of the field, in traffic. Similar to what we've seen throughout his career as well. Does not mind going across at making big-time catches.
Brady to throw again. That's it. Hands of Gallup over the middle.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 35.
A pretty good route combination there. You got to find a way to the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put on him, let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He completes it to Jones.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. Following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take. Working 2nd and
middle. And he is met quick in the field. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 5.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Brady. Popped in, intercept. Tre'Davious with a pick. Commander take possession here. They've got their own 4-yard line. With the points that we scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Right, that Brand. Not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And the Washington offense going back to work. Turnover that just got him the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, it would have been a possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like, you know, a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
Third, here's McCaffrey, and he'll be taken down. A loss back at the 3. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Taken right around the 44. It's a 45 and 8 on the return. And the Colts set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've doubled him a couple times, but not if they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
Do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. It fell incomplete. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara.
And they're going to get this about the 37.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 37, 1st and 10. This is Kamara.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
Second and 7, operating from the 34. Now Brady.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Brady now to throw. And he finds Beasley, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance in this ball game.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
First ball, and they got to be thinking a change for this football game. To throw, it's and this is urgent. Right side. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 7 that second.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can put up anywhere. In the slot, wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On 2nd and goal, Brady. The quick slant caught. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Calling a long 2 there on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal.
Well, that was a heck of a play there outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slower can come over. And so, but in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Kamara. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers. Anyone who's going to lay down a block, don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. We can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock. Life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. It's not incomplete and stop the clock.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now Tannehill. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the from the ball.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And they'll go on offense here. 1st and Tom Brady in the offense. By 7, a little over a minute and a half remaining. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Brady.
And oh, that one nearly intercepted. Would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down. Now Brady. And caught by Beasley. 5 yards. Now it's third. And let's go as he'll hustle him to the line. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Evans. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Out comes Washington's offense is set to take over here. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, don't need to use it strictly for pride.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout. Clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. He'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to hold it better, cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Commanders, they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year.
And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.